Welcome to the channel. Have you ever bought something new and then suddenly felt the urge to buy even more? Maybe you decided to upgrade your phone, and at first, it seemed like a simple purchase. But then you realized your old phone case didn't fit, so you bought a new one. Then you thought, well, my headphones are outdated too, and since you were already upgrading, why not get a wireless charger? Before you knew it, what started as a single purchase turned into a full-blown shopping spree. This is no accident. It's a psychological trap known as the Diderot effect, one of the most powerful forces in consumer behavior that keeps people spending more than they intend, often without even realizing it. This effect is named after Denis Diderot, an 18th century French philosopher who, for most of his life, was not wealthy. In fact, he struggled financially despite his reputation as a respected thinker. Then one day, his fortunes changed dramatically. Catherine the Great of Russia, a fan of his work, purchased his entire library for a significant sum of money and even gave him a lifetime salary. Suddenly, he was rich. One of the first things he did with his newfound wealth was buy a luxurious red robe. It was elegant, extravagant, and far superior to anything he had owned before. But then something strange happened. When he looked around his home, he realized that his old, modest furniture, his worn-out rug, and his simple wooden desk all looked out of place next to his magnificent new robe. They seemed unworthy of his new, elevated standard. So, he started replacing them. He bought new furniture, new decor, even expensive artwork to match his robe. And before long, he had spent nearly all of his money. In an essay titled "Regrets on My Old Dressing Gown," he lamented, "I was the absolute master of my old robe. Now, I have become a slave to my new one." You might think that this is just an old story, something that wouldn't happen in today's world. But in reality, the Diderot effect has become even more powerful. The way we spend money now, with targeted advertising, social media pressure, and one-click purchases, makes it easier than ever to fall into this trap. Every time you buy something, companies are ready to push you toward the next purchase. Buy a new TV? Suddenly, you start seeing ad for a sound system, a wall mount, maybe even smart lighting to create the perfect entertainment setup. Buy a new car? Now you're tempted by premium insurance, upgraded tires, a custom interior, and even a garage remodel to match your luxury vehicle. This effect is most dangerous because it doesn't just drain your bank account. It reshapes your identity. When you upgrade one part of your life, your subconscious mind starts pushing you to elevate everything else to match. You might think that buying an expensive watch is just a one-time purchase, but soon, you feel like your entire wardrobe needs an upgrade to match your new high-status look. You might think that moving into a bigger home is just about extra space, but then you realize your old furniture looks out of place, and before you know it, you're spending thousands redecorating every room. Even worse, social media makes this effect more powerful than ever. You see influencers posting pictures of their aesthetic workspaces, perfectly curated outfits, and luxury travel experiences. And even if you didn't originally care about those things, the more you're exposed to them, the more they start to feel like the standard. Suddenly, your perfectly functional belongings don't seem good enough. This is why so many people, even those with high incomes, struggle to build real wealth. They're constantly upgrading, constantly chasing a lifestyle they never even planned for, just to match their latest purchase. But here's the good news. Now that you know about this psychological trap, you can fight back. The first step is to recognize the chain reaction before it starts. The next time you feel the urge to upgrade everything after a single purchase, stop and ask yourself, do I actually need this? Or am I just reacting to my last purchase? This one question alone can save you thousands of dollars over time. The second step is to set spending boundaries in advance. Before making a major purchase, decide how much, if anything, you're willing to spend on related items. Let's say you buy a new laptop. Instead of getting carried away and buying an entirely new desk setup, create a strict budget cap for accessories, maybe $100 max. This keeps you from falling into an endless spending spiral. The third step is to flip the Diderot effect in your favor. Just as one purchase can trigger a chain reaction of more spending, one good financial habit can lead to another. Imagine you decide to save $50 this week instead of spending it. Seeing your savings grow feels rewarding. So the next week, you decide to cut another unnecessary expense. Before you know it, you're not just saving, you're investing, budgeting, and even finding ways to increase your income. One of the best ways to counteract the Diderot effect is to create a rule. Every time you make a major purchase, invest an equal or greater amount into assets. If you spend $500 on a gadget, put $500 into stocks, ETFs, or a high-yield savings account. This simple habit will shift your mindset from consumer to investor, and over time, it will build real wealth instead of draining your resources. Another powerful strategy is to actively reduce exposure to spending triggers. If you constantly find yourself tempted by Instagram influencers or online shopping ads, take control of your environment. Unfollow accounts that make you feel like you need to keep up. Disable one-click purchases. Create a mandatory 48-hour waiting period before buying anything over a certain amount. These small changes can break the automatic spending reflex and give you time to decide whether a purchase is truly necessary. And let's be clear, this isn't about never spending money. It's about spending with intention. If something genuinely improves your quality of life, aligns with your values, and fits within your financial goals, then buy it guilt-free. But if you're only upgrading because you feel like you have to match a new standard you never even consciously chose, that's when it's time to step back and reassess. At the end of the day, wealth isn't about how much money you make. It's about how much you keep and how you use it to create the life you truly want. The Diderot effect can either be your greatest enemy or a powerful tool, depending on how you manage it. Now that you know how this effect works, you can break the cycle of unnecessary spending and start making financial decisions that actually serve you. So now, I have a challenge for you. Think about the last time you fell into this trap. What was the first purchase that triggered a series of unnecessary upgrades? Comment below. I'd love to hear your experiences. And if you found this video valuable, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We explore financial psychology, luxury wealth strategies, and the hidden forces that shape our financial decisions. Don't miss out. Subscribe now, and I'll see you in the next video.